Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Chill TCG. Now, we had this great, awesome new Victini deck list that won Chill Series number 31 this past Wednesday. It was Koichi Kimura who took the win after making finals with Mushifu the week prior. Actually made it to finals again with this new Rapidash Victini VMAX deck and ended up winning it all. 308 players in the tournament, so definitely super cool. He played phenomenally, and I really suggest that you guys go check out the Grand Finals match, which I did post on the channel a few days ago. So if you're looking to see this deck played at a higher level in a high-stakes match, I definitely recommend that you go check out that video. Link will be up in the annotation thing up there. Go check it out. I highly suggest it. But today, I'm just going to break down the list. We're going to go over it a little bit. I'll play some games, even though I don't really know what I'm doing too much with this list in particular. But I figure, why not? We'll showcase the list. You guys can check it out and try it for yourself. One thing that I just want to note immediately right off the gate here, it's just Victini VMAX. There's nothing too crazy about it. We are running the Scoop Up Net Jirachi engine. We have a 3-3 Victini VMAX, or V and VMAX lineup here. We have one Reshiram and Charizard, one Heatran-GX as secondary attackers for those, mainly for their GX attacks, but they are going to be really good, you know, to be used in certain matchups for sure. But we have a 2-2, we have a two lineup of Galarian Rapidash V. So for those of you who don't know, Victini V from base set is the best one to play, mainly for the Spreading Flames attack. And then we evolve here into Victini VMAX, which came out in Battle Styles. Victini VMAX is phenomenal. It's one of the best Fire-type attackers in the game right now, one of the best VMAX attackers in the game. It's super, super good. We have that first attack, Spreading Flames, which is actually the same first attack as Victini V. So for one colorless, attach up to 3 energy cards, fire energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you would like. So it's actually a really good option. The second attack, though, is the main reason why we play Victini VMAX, which is Max Victory. 100 damage, but if your opponent's active Pokemon, which you're attacking, is a V Pokemon, and that goes for V or VMAX, you do 120 more damage. So for 2 energies against most of the, or a lot of the Pokemon in our format, we're going to be hitting for 220, which is a lot. That is a really good attack there for just 2 energies. Kind of gives us the E-turn effect. We're very low attack cost, although it's even more consistent because we have Welder in the deck. We're going to be able to 2-shot almost every VMAX Pokemon in the format, but we are also 1-shotting most V Pokemon in the format as well. So a very good attacker, but we're paired up with Galarian Rapidash V. Now, this is a promo card, which, you know, recently just came out. It's a Psychic type here, but we have that first attack, Libra Horn, for 2 colorless energy, so it goes very well in this Welder deck. And this reads that you put damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and this can be any one of your opponent's Pokemon. That can be on the bench or in the active spot, which is really good. You put damage counters onto it until that Pokemon has 100 HP remaining, which is really, really, really good, right? Because this is the reason this is good, and if you guys haven't already, you know, seen the correlation already, we're going to drop any Pokemon down until it has 100 HP with Galarian Rapidash V here, and then we have Victini VMAX, which does 100 damage at you know, minimum for 2 energies. So it's a phenomenal combination. If we're going against tag team Pokemon or a Pokemon that we can't really 2-shot reliably with Victini, we have Galarian Rapidash to set up that KO with Victini. 210 HP as well. Weak to Dark, so you know, we're not something that we're typically probably going to want to use against E-turn, although it can be really good against E-turn for sure. It's definitely a really good Pokemon. Probably not going to get one-shotted too often either, so definitely really, really good. Goes very well with Victini VMAX, like I said. However, you know, we do have some fail-safes for other matchups where Victini VMAX might not be that great, and that's going to be our Reshiram and Charizard-GX, as well as our Heatran-GX, which are 2 very, very good attackers. They require a little bit more energy, but, you know, their GX attacks 200 for 3 there, or if we want, you know, Heatran here, it's got this great ability where if we switch in, we get to move as many fire energies from our other Pokemon to it. That's Burning Road there, and then we can Hopper GX, does 50 for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So really awesome variety of different attackers in the deck as well. And on top of that, we have a few different Pokemon here that are just kind of, you know, the icing on the cake thrown on top. We have a Crobat here, 1 Crobat for draw support, 2 Dedennes, again, more draw support. We have an Eldegoss V to get our supporters out of the discard pile, and you notice we're only playing 7 supporters, 3 Boss, 4 Welder, and again, those are really the only supporters we need in the deck, and they're going to be extremely crucial. So no matter what, mid to late game, we should be able to Eldegoss for either a Welder or a Boss's Orders, which a lot of time can be our win condition. And then we have 4 Jirachis. This is going to be our best starting option. It's going to be our main way that we draw through our deck and find the cards that we need. With Stellar Wish, it's still one of the best you know, draw support engines in the game, and Jirachi is absolutely fantastic. And that's why, of course, for Jirachis, we're going to be running 4 Scoop Up Nets, 4 Switch cards, and 2 Air Balloons as well. So we should be able to pivot in and out, go into our Jirachis, find something, switch back out. A lot of switching options in the deck. It makes a lot of sense when you're running the Jirachi engine. We also have a Giratina in the list. Giratina goes really well in any Scoop Up Net Jirachi engine deck, and ours is no different. It's especially good in our deck because we have things like Lucario Millmetal running around, or just any other metal deck, that metal type deck that might be running Coding Energy, because we definitely want to get, be hitting for weakness on those metal type decks. So Giratina is going to help us to knock off the special energies from our opponent in the active spot. Going to be really, really good to get rid of those Coding Energies to switch back up and KO whatever's in the active. So super, super good. Phenomenal. I mean, this deck won the tournament. It's super good. I don't really have too much else to explain about it. We do have 4 Quick Balls, 4 Pokemon Communication, so plenty of consistent Pokemon search in the deck, and we have 2 Reset Stamps thrown in there with, of course, 3 Giant Hearths. So everything in here is put in for consistency purposes, 11 Fire Energies. Everything in here, we're not running a lot of different cards, but the cards we are running, we're running a high count of them, which is something you typically see in decks that try to be more consistent. So this deck is great. It really is. We're going to get into some games. I'm going to play a little bit, guys. I do want to let you guys know that I don't ever play Welder decks, and I hardly have any Victini experience. I think the last time I made a Victini video, I played terribly, so don't expect anything different in this video. I do apologize. But we're going to just play the deck. We're going to see how it goes. Hopefully we can get some good gameplay for you guys. Feel free to critique me in the comment section below. I love when you guys do that, because I most definitely will be playing poorly. But anyway, let's get into it, guys. Let's record a video. All right. Let's get into it. Victini Rapidash. Playing on the ladder. Always love it. From the games that I've played with this, there's a lot of matchups that we do like to hit, for sure. But Pikarom seems really tough for us. I'm not sure exactly the best route to go about, playing against a Pikarom. They just seem to have a much more consistent list, and they can take multiple prize cards at the same time. It just typically doesn't go very well for us. We can start with Jirachi, though, this turn. And hopefully we don't start with an energy, but hopefully we can, with the Dedenne and Crobat in hand, we can find a way to draw some energies. Let's see what we're playing against. It looks like a water deck, so it's probably maybe Inteleon, because we see the level ball there, which obviously isn't great for us, being weak to water, but we'll see. So we have that Snom there in the active spot. Okay. I think we can bring up Rapidash. We'll put an Air Balloon onto it. I'm going to Quick Ball away the boss. And what I want to do is just grab a Victini. I mean, we don't really have any super safe attackers that aren't weak to water, so that's just something that we're going to have to deal with here. But we can bring up the Victini. Let's Stellar Wish. We find another boss, which is not good, really. I don't know why we even grabbed it. I mean, I guess, it is what it is. Let's scoop up the Jirachi, go into the Rapidash, go put down the Jirachi. We're just going to retreat back into it. We could draw some cards first here. I kind of want to burn this comp, but at the same time, I want to keep it, just in case we need to find VMAX for next turn. We do find the energy though, so that's cool. We're gonna attach to the Victini first of all, before anything here. And we do find a Welder, but the only way we have to draw cards next turn is going to be through Dedenne, which is tough for sure. But we can just grab Quick Ball, I think, for now. And I think we're going to have to pass. We're going to have to pass. I didn't want to grab the Welder because most likely we're just going to be using Dedenne-GX to discard our hand next turn. But I do think the boss is going to be good. So whatever he brings up, he's probably going to bench like a Inteleon V or perhaps a Lapras V, whatever he might be playing. And that being said, he just actually hits us with Ram, which is funny. And I'm actually pretty cool with that. Let's evolve into the VMAX here. We actually have our Viridians as well, which is funny. I'm actually going to just use the Viridians because I want to guarantee myself the energy right off the gate. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Just kind of thinking. I don't know if I want to Stellar Wish first. We definitely just want to hit the active and just get a KO. I'm going to Stellar Wish, though. And we find the Scoop Up Net. And that's actually going to be priority. I know we had Welder and stuff in the deck, but I think that just grabbing a Scoop Up Net to go into the Victini here is going to be the best thing for us to do. Okay. I don't really have... There's not a whole lot of pressure on us this turn. And I don't know necessarily... I don't want to discard Boss because I kind of want to keep it just in hand. And we're kind of just fine, I think, just attacking. If he does bench something, yeah, he seems to not be drawing super well, which happens for sure. The energy is going to be nice for us. But I think this is probably, I mean, he's not just playing, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, so he drew poorly. That's, unfortunate sometimes. That just happens. Sometimes that just happens. Let's get into a different one. See if we can't get like a nice full game for us to play here. I don't want to play Pikarom. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. It wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. But, I don't know. If you guys want to see Victini VMAX versus Eternatus, then go check out the finals match because that was a great game between those two decks. We're playing Dorian. Looks like they're probably playing Peak, or at least he's got the electric type deck box and everything. So that's something. We won the coin flip. I'm actually going to choose not to go first here. I think with Pikarom, our best bet is to actually just go with the Reshiram and Charizard route. We only have one deck, so I think that at some point we're probably going to have to go with the Rapidash Victini combination. But Victini V might actually be pretty useful just in general, because if they attach a lot of energies, it does more damage. So could be also a good route. Again, not a matchup that I'm super familiar with, so I have to figure that one out at least. Again, no energy or welder in their hand, and they're starting with Dedenne-GX. Okay, so he's actually playing Galarian Rapidash V as well, but it's in an electric deck, which is very interesting. He could just be throwing this in his Pikarom list, which would be very interesting for sure. He actually attaches to the Dedenne, which is interesting. But I think we can venture our own Galarian Rapidash. I almost said Ninetales. Okay. Now I think what I want to do. You have a good deck. LOL. Thanks, bro. Okay, I'm gonna calm here. And I think what I definitely want to grab is our Reshiram and Charizard. I feel like this is going to be one of our best options here. We're going to Crobat, just draw 3 cards. Okay, no energies or anything like that, which is unfortunate. For sure. We're going to Stellar Wish. We have 3 Scoop Up Nets in hand as well. We do find the Hearth, though. We just don't have a Welder to attach the energies to. I kind of want to keep Heatran around as well. We're going to get rid of the Scoop Up Net. Grab a couple energies there. And I think, yeah, we just have to attach, I think. We're going to boss, even though there probably wasn't a reason to do that. We're just going to do that in case he has something that he wants to bench, like a Boltund and then Dedenne into. And now this kind of forces him to have another switching out or an energy. He might just want to be committing to the Rapidash anyway, so maybe that wasn't the best play, but I figured just get this thing with the Air Balloon out of the active and force him to at least maybe attach or whatnot. He's going to Marnius. I'm not even mad about that. I mean, it is what it is. Our hand wasn't great. We did have Scoop Up Nets in hand, which kind of would have been nice for the next Stellar Wish next turn, but not a big deal. Let's see what we draw into. Welder and Energy, and Hearth is still in the active for now, which is good. The Crushing Hammer comes out, though. Never good to see the Crushing Hammers. It's heads. Of course it is. It's never not heads. Always going to be heads. I don't know. I mean, Giratina could be good here. We're just going to Hearth away Hearth, though, I think, because that is kind of the position that we're in right now. Let's Welder a few onto this Reshiram and Charizard. Put 2 on. Draw some cards here. We'll attach the 3rd. And again, like, I don't know if I want to... I mean, we can quick ball away one Victini VMAX, I think, and just grab a Victini. But we're going to want to leave that bench space open, I think. And let's just Stellar Wish. See what we find. Air Balloon or Calm. Calm might be our best bet so that we could potentially, like, Dedenne away next turn or whatever. He could Marnius again, which is something to keep in mind. I'm going to put the Air Balloon on the Rapidash, and I'm going to just pass the turn, I think. I think that's our best bet. So we have 1 Boss, 1 Welder in our discard pile. So we just got to keep those things in mind here. He hasn't gotten off to a hot start, though, which is really good for us in this matchup. And I think having this Reshiram and Charizard somewhat set up, or beginning to be set up, is going to be a really good threat to him as well. And, yeah. So... if he goes into Boltund, if we see an Electrify, hopefully we can switch into the Reshiram and Charizard and just kind of Flare Strike him, which would be good, because then maybe next turn we can get the 6 energy on and then potentially one-shot one of his VMAX Pokemon. Or not VMAX, GX, Tag Team Pokemon, which is going to be good for us. He does Dedenne, though, draws a fresh 6, does get the Raichu down on the board. We haven't seen a Mewtwo yet, which is interesting, and that's typically pretty good for us, but there's his Chaotic Swell, and we only have 1 Hearth left in our deck, so that's not great for us. For sure, it's going to be a bit harder for us to find our energies, I think, obviously, but... hopefully that's not a huge issue, right? Okay, so he comes out with a hammer. He misses that one, though. Let's go. Poggers for the coin flip tails. Crushing Hammer tails. You don't see that as often as you would like to. What did he just... So he attached to the Rapidash, but he switches into the Bolton, so we're probably going to see an Electrify here. And that's totally fine with me. A lot of things that we could potentially draw into. Really what we just need is an energy and a switch. And we're going to be able to evolve into the Victini, do that type of thing. I think Flare Strike KOing the Bolton, and then focusing on probably this Pikarom or whatever he chooses to set up next is going to be good. But if he sets up the... Okay, so he is kind of going for the Rapidash, which is tough for us because I think we want to focus on KOing the Rapidash now. Okay, so this is interesting for sure because we have Scoop Up Net in hand, so I think it kind of makes me want to just Stellar Wish immediately. But what are we Stellar Wishing for, I suppose? I guess a boss. Because we want to KO that Rapidash, I think, preferably this turn. We do find the boss's orders, though, which is cool. So now I think we're kind of guaranteed... Well, no, we need an energy still. But that's fine. I think this is our still best option. We're going to scoop up the Jirachi, and we're going to go into the Rapidash just because it has Air Balloon. And then we're going to calm away the Giratina, and we're going to grab Dedenne just because we're all out of Crobat. We only had one in our deck. Oops. Okay, we're going to play this down. So what we want is an energy. Be very preferable. We do find it, which is always very, very good. So now I think we're in a pretty good spot. You know, if you ask me, we also have boss in hand, but it's going to be another kind of turn or two before we have 6 on, unless we top deck a Welder. But we're probably going to be bossing again next turn anyway. But we're going to take 2 prize cards here, find a switch and an energy, which is cool. And now I think what we can do is start, because we're going to use this Reshiram and Charizard to KO things other than the Bolton. So we can start attaching to the Victini as well. And then maybe use the Victini to... Okay, Yelgren. And then maybe use the Victini to KO the Bolton. We have 1 boss's orders left in our deck, and it's in our hand. But we still have Eldegoss as well. He's playing Tapu Koko V, so this is not really Pikarom. It's like kind of like an electric box type deck. I feel more comfortable having that Rapidash KO'd because that thing is really a threat. And he's going to bench his second Dedenne and draw some cards, I think. So that's going to be good for him for sure. Drawing a fresh 6. I don't know. He has 2 energies on the Dedenne, so he might just be Tingly returning, which is good for us, I guess. Just because that he's kind of using his GX attack for a game, which is going to be good. He speeds to the Pikarom, draws 2 cards. Goes up to 7 cards in his hand. Yeah, so he actually just does hit us with the Tingly return. Puts that Dedenne back into his hand. Let's see what he promotes, though, is going to be the big question. He brings up the Bolton, though, which is really interesting. Oh, and we just draw into the Welder. Wow. Yeah, we're rolling right now. We are absolutely rolling. We're going to attach to that other one to the Reshiram and Charizard. Now we're going to switch into Victini. And we're in a really good spot, all things considered, because we can even stamp him just to 6. I mean, I know that's probably not... might be a waste to do that. But we have another stamp left in our deck, so... now we can just kind of KO the Bolton because Victini's crazy. He does 220. And we should, if we have access to... Okay, so we have another Welder, actually. So we have Welder and Boss in hand, but we don't have energy, so that's going to be a little bit complicated. But we can always just go back into the Reshi and then just boss something up like a Dedenne for our last 2 prize cards. So I think we pretty much have game in hand here unless we see a Marnie. But even if that happens, we have, if he KOs something or whatever might happen, we still have a lot of outs to make this this game a little bit more... winnable, or more winnable, even though right now it's definitely a bit winnable. This Pikarom matchup can be tough, though. I think going second is good. I think going with Reshiram and Charizard is good, just because, how things work. He actually benches the Bolton, which I don't think was a good idea for him, for sure. I mean, we do have Boss in hand. I don't know what he's going to do here. Unless he Marnies us, we have game in hand now. Well, we did before, anyway. Yeah, so he's just going to go into the peak here. Which is totally fine for us. And he does have Marnie, so that's something at least. Stopping us at least a little bit from doing something. But now I think Welder is still an out to win the game. Welder and some energies. That's kind of interesting. He's going to stamp us, though, to 2. So all interesting things happening. Either way, we can go into Jirachi and kind of get that all figured out. So I'm not really, too worried about everything that's happening. We could Spreading Flames, actually. Do we have any in our discard pile? We have 1 in our discard pile. I'm curious whether it is better to Spreading Flames here. Although it's just interesting. I'm going to quick ball away this Jirachi, though. And I'm just going to grab another one. We have a lot of Pokemon left in our deck still. 2 Welder, 3 energies. So, interesting for sure. I think that what we want is to just find that boss. Spreading Flames, we could put one on the Reshi. I feel a bit more comfortable Stellar Wishing here. Okay. We just have a Quick Ball and a bunch of Pokemon on the top of our deck. So we're going to grab that Quick Ball. We're going to shuffle. We still have another Dedenne in our deck as well. So if we do get KO'd, it's not the end of the world. You know, we have plenty of other ways to consistently draw some more cards. So that's going to be pretty preferable, I think. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. He puts another speed onto the Pikarom. Okay. You know, he's in a tough spot for sure. I think that we're in a pretty good spot. Regardless, you know, he still has to take 6 prize cards. There's a lot of game left. We still have a lot of outs still in our deck, so we have time to just draw cards. And that's why I'm not really too worried. He Marnies us, which is actually preferable. It's actually good that he did that. So let's see. See what we draw here. We draw Welder and we draw Eldegoss. But he's going to Marnie stamp us again, which is fun. We're going to go back to 2 cards. Let's see what these 2 cards are. Victini and an energy, so at least we have an energy, which is, you know, fine. How many hammers does he have left in his deck? 1 hammer left in deck, okay. Okay, so we top deck the energy. I'm just going to attach it to the Reshi. We can Stellar Wish here. So we have Boss. I think what I want to do, though, is actually just attack, right? I don't see any issue with just hitting him at this point. You know, it kind of puts some pressure on him. And I don't know. I mean, going into Victini, we don't get the KO, right? But at the same time, like, we, you know, do damage. So I'm gonna do that. I don't see him taking a KO that next turn. Although, yeah, he already GX'd, so we're just gonna max victory him. It's only 100 damage, but you know, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. We're just playing at this point. We're just playing the game, doing our thing, appreciating the Victini VMAX and how absurd this deck really is. The Reshiram and Charizard makes it a lot better. Like this deck wouldn't nearly have the matchup spread it has if you didn't have access to a Reshiram and Charizard-GX, because it's such a powerful Pokemon, and you just have so many options. And he looks like he's going to retreat and go into this Raichu here. We are going to see a Tandem Shock, though, which is really interesting for sure. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't expect him to play Tag Switch into Tandem Shock. He's actually going to boss. So what is he going to boss us into? The Reshiram. This is bad for us. This is straight up not good. A lot of bad things that are happening here. Okay, so we have boss, which is like an out anyway. I'm just going to attach here, and okay, we're just going to pass. We're going to pass, and that was a really good turn on his part. Energy attachment switch, tag switch, boss. Really good turn for him, and it looks like, yeah, he's just going to KO the Reshi here. But fortunately, we do have boss in hand for game, so we kind of had a lot of things that we could do there. Probably benching Jirachi last turn would have been smarter in the long run, probably, I think. But we had switch anyway there. Yeah, so we're just going to boss up the Bolton. Give him the heart. I apologize for our deck being so ridiculous. And we're just going to go ahead and take a KO there. We're just going to go ahead and take a KO. All right, guys. It's a quick video today. I apologize. Not much, of gameplay. Not much things going on. I do apologize for that. But hopefully, this video did kind of showcase a little bit about this Victini Rapidash deck. In my opinion, one of the best Welder decks in our format right now. It just has so many different options to beat pretty much every deck in our format. Again, huge shout out to Koichi Kimura. This was his list that he used to win Chill Series number 31 last week. And if you guys are interested in seeing the Grand Finals match, go check out that video. I highly, highly appreciate it and recommend it. Looks like we got a couple Battle Styles packs, so that's cool. Shout out to PTCGO Zone. They're our sponsor. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you guys like the video. I really appreciate it. Link to register for Chill Series 32 on Wednesday isn't actually up yet, but it'll be up soon, so just keep that in mind. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize for it to be a little bit short. Just kind of had one game in there. I don't have too much time to record right now, so I apologize. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys liked the list. The export will be down in the description below, so definitely go check it out. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.